Well, we are in the apiary today, and, well, I've got some work to do. I'm going to go down this front row, and I'm going to check each of these colonies. By this point, it has been 2 weeks since we've installed the packages, and I'm going to go through and, well, I probably should find capped over brood. Now, I'm going to dig into, of course, the Hex Hive again. So, going to check and see how they're building that out. I'm also going to look in these boxes and, well, do they need another one? I don't know. We're probably about a week off from that, but I'm going to check. I have some new migratory covers that I'm going to replace my telescoping lids with. I found these migratories are much easier in my operation, so I'm going to do that. I'm also going to get in here and check on the 2 colonies that I did not split as of yet and see what I find. So there's a little bit of work here to do in the apiary, and we've got an update on the end colony that I pulled the split on. Let's dig into the first colony here, this Apimaye. And first colony, let's see what we find in here. Well, there's a little bit of wet nectar on there, so I like that. Good deal. This looks good. Look at that. Second frame, I see the queen. So I will be curious. If she's on this outer frame with this nectar here, I almost could add another box. We'll see what we find in here, though. I do not want these colonies getting nectar bound this soon. I want them to be able to build out. So this is fantastic right here. I can see all in the center in here, there is larvae. So, like I said before, you know, every once in a while you'll get that from these packages. The queens just, you know, they've got to communicate. They've got to spread that pheromone around. Nothing there. Look at that nice pattern on there. So that is fantastic. And this is 2 weeks. So 2 weeks after installation, and look at that. That is really nice. Oh, look at that pattern there. So, my queen still has 3 frames. Let's see what we find with this one. Yep, capped over brood as well in this. So that's what I like to see. This is the point. 2 weeks, you should see capped brood. If your colonies do not have that capped brood, well, I installed mine on drawn comb. So that is that benefit right there, as you can see. Look at all that. That is great. That right there is great. Yep, so I can see eggs down in here. So that's good. We've got my queen right there, and she's got an egg actually sticking out of her. I probably interrupted her. Now I can see eggs across all of those cells in there. And already you can see how these queens are really plumping out. Really good size on her already. And this one here, I'm really not concerned about the spacing just yet from what I saw in these first frames. So back together and looking good. Well, let's see what this third package shows us, and I see some nectar there. Okay, so larvae, capped over brood there, and look at that, capped over brood. So, really good so far. These queens are each about where I would expect them to be. I thought that I would find capped brood when I got in here. 2 weeks on drawn comb. That's what you're going to find. Look at that. Wonderful patterns. This right here, that's, I mean, really great frame because there's larvae in there. Capped brood. Eggs. There's basically brood of all stages on that frame right there. This right here is why you do those inspections. You want to check and see, well, what is going on. Good frames. And here's the queen. You can see her running, and there are eggs on here, so I may shift this. Drop that down there and then slide this back. Fantastic. All right, so into the Hex Hive. Now, we'll see how this thing looks as far as Does it need a second box? I don't know. So there are eggs clear across there. And look at that. This is the same exact spot where the queen was last time. We see her there. There are eggs across in these cells. So she is walking on that frame there. Same, I believe that's the same exact location as last time. Now, the last time, well, my last video, oh, look at that. Nice, beautiful larvae in there. Eggs down in there as well. The last time I posted a video on this, I had someone comment, well, you know, in North America, you have to be able to remove all comb because there's this center dividing piece. They had built comb down. Well, if I take this piece off, I can pull each of those out. So yes, technically I could pull all comb here out and look at that brood, but it would just require a little bit more work. And look at that. So that's what I wanted to see, is comb built down on the bottom of those frames. I mean, you can see the behavior of this colony. Oh, so look at that. This is very interesting. So there is a completely filled out pollen frame right where I would expect it, right next to the brood. So look at that. We have brood here, pollen frame right there. Frames seem very easy to take out. Brood there. Brood there. And they're building comb down across the bottoms. Look at the brood on there. Excellent. Let's take this frame here out and see what they've done. Okay, they've done the same thing there and build comb down, and they're starting to work this. So I would almost bet within another week that I will have to add a second box onto here. Excellent. Yeah, this hive so far, it's performing as expected. All right, now this next colony here, this is in a BeeTech hive setup that I was sent. They asked me to take a look at it, so I am doing that. And I've been using it. This system, this setup, it came it was exceptionally packaged. I cannot say anything about the packaging. It was packaged really well. The kit itself, I got a deep and a medium. That fits my single brood. It came with the frames. It even has windows on the side. So we all know, well, those that watch me know, well, I like windows. So this will be the only setup in my apiary that is not Nature's Image wax dipped. Nice joints on the equipment. So we'll see. We'll see how it lasts. You know, longevity-wise, I can't say. I do know that waxed dipped equipment is exceptional. So if you're looking in a tier system, you know, you'll go to painted equipment and then you go to wax dipped. The painted equipment here, you know, will it be fine as far as the weather and everything like that in Ohio? I don't know. Time will tell. But, you know, I can say construction-wise, very easy to assemble. No issues. Looks to be okay so far. Good brood pattern there as well. So that's what I want to see. I want to see that these things are building out. There's Queen Mama. She's a decent sized queen. I mean, you look at her. She's a decent size. The frames that I got from them, we can see here, well, the bees are building wonky comb. So this right here is going to tell me I got to scrape that off. And then waxing wise, probably it could go for a little bit more wax. Typically when they build comb like that on these type of frames, you know, I'll rub wax on it to try and get a little bit more on there. But, you know, I'll have to work a little bit. So boxes seem to be okay. Frames we will see. Now these other frames that were used, those were my other frames that were already drawn out. So we'll see how it does. All right, now this is one of my established colonies. So I fully expect to have to split this colony today. I've been putting off, but I fully expect to have to split it. Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of weight in that super. Now look at the population here. I fully expect to have to split this hive. Now, if I find cells, what I'm going to do is exactly like I did last time. Locate my queen and move her. That is just a pollen frame, like... Okay, so there's my queen. All right. I got my queen there. Since I found her, if I find cells now, it'll be a lot easier to perform a split. All right, so that one was charged. So if I find other cups, I am not going to break them. Yeah. I would almost bet that this colony is days away from making some cups. And then they will fill them and become cells, because I am not seeing anything down in them. So those ones right there, I do not see anything in. Oh, wow, look at that. All right, well, so I'm going to put this back together, and I probably will come back over later in the week and do a split on this colony. There goes that queen down in there. All right, this last colony that I'm checking is the one with my Caucasian. Same thing here. I need to check it to see if there are any signs of cells. If there are, I'm going to locate that queen and move her over. I try and go pretty easy with my excluders. That way there's not a lot of popping sounds. So there's brood on there. There's drone brood. And again, if I find my queen, I'm just going to toss her in a clip. That way I know where she's at. But we've got some nice brood in there. And that's if I can find her. Hopefully I can. But if I'm going to do a split, well, yeah, I'm going to have to find her. Well, so far, no signs of any cups or cells on here. I tell you, if they did not make any and they just built out, that would be great. I'd be able to get a decent honey harvest out of this colony. But typically colonies, I've never had one do that where they just do not build any cups or cells. It's in their nature to want to do that. Well, I'm probably going to be, by the looks of this, I'm probably going to be busy in a couple days because I'm not seeing any cups. I probably will toss another super on. Well, so this colony here has a couple days as well. Probably a little bit longer than the last one that we saw, but there's no signs of swarming as of yet. A lot of eggs and larvae on this frame here, so my queen might have been out on this outer edge. All right. Well, so I'm going to pack this thing back up. All right, so we went through all of the colonies. Now, the packages in the front Well, we found what I expected to find. We found capped over brood, so great. It's been 2 weeks. That's what I expected. The Hex Hive, well, there's loads of capped brood in there. We're probably 1 week away from adding in another set of frames in there. Now in the back, I did switch over some of my lids, so I really like those migratories. They just are very easy to work with. The colonies though, well, where I thought I was going to have to do some splits today, I did not. The one here that I did add on another box, it's just giving them room. They're pulling in some nectar, so I want them to start working on some frames there. My queen that I pulled off, well, we found her in there as well, so that's good. The end colony. What I have on this end colony here is our queen right dial max indicator, and I have on it, and we can see a couple girls are bumping me, but that's okay, they're just bumping me. I have on it a mating dial where it's turned to the exact date from when I saw the capped cell to when I will expect to find eggs. So looking on the dating on there, and this system works exceptionally well. It's an overall really note-keeping system post-inspection. I found cells, I did a split, and then I interchanged the dial for the mating indicator, and I marked it on here between the 6th and 7th that I would have expected a capped cell. And right now, well, she probably will be emerging between the 13th and the 16th, somewhere right in there. It just all depends on temperature and things like that. And then she'll do mating flights, and then this colony hopefully will have a mated queen. So the apiary is expanding, but overall here the apiary is looking really well. Happy with what I found in today's inspections, and like I say, everyone, until the next one.